If you didn't stay up last night to watch the conclusion of the 49ers and Seahawks, I don't know how to describe it. I don't think it was a great game. It was a wild game. It was a confusing game. And I don't know if we learned more or less about these two teams. I learned a little bit more about the 49ers. Jadeveon Clowney, yeah, he had one of those performances where you go, oh, we're supposed to be surprised at this? Aren't we surprised when he doesn't have a dominating game? Isn't he supposed to be? Wasn't he supposed to change the NFL? That size, that speed, and still known for that one tackle against Michigan. But this is that reminder game that we had last night. Russell Wilson is still special, although he had a horrible interception. Jadeveon Clowney, wow, he's going to get paid by somebody in the offseason. I still have issues with Kyle Shanahan and clock management. I have some issues with Jimmy Garoppolo in a big moment. I know he didn't have Emmanuel Sanders and he didn't have George Kittle, and those are great players. Kittle was spectacular. But this is supposed to have a great offensive line. They're going to run the football. They play great defense. And I didn't think Jimmy Garoppolo stood out. Throwing the ball downfield, I don't know. It felt like that Seattle knew what they wanted to get out of Jimmy Garoppolo, and they were able to capitalize. But it was back and forth. It was wild. And the reason why I say clock management with Kyle Shanahan, and it's not fair to pin everything on what happened in the loss to the Patriots in the Super Bowl when they're up 28-3. Questionable play calling, yes, we can all agree on that. But they have the ball, and there's around 2 minutes to go, and this is overtime, and Garoppolo throws 3 passes. Okay, if you're going to throw, you want to, at the worst case scenario is you get a tie out of that game. You can't get a loss. Now, if I run a little bit of the clock there, maybe I run one play, I got to make sure that if we don't get a first down here, I can't give the ball back to Russell Wilson. This is what Russell Wilson does for a living. This is what he does better than anybody. Late comebacks. I got to run the clock a little bit, and if I'm the Niners, you didn't play great. You didn't have a couple of your star players, but you have a chance to, worst case scenario, tie the game. And they failed to do that, and Seattle picks up a big win here. Seattle has at the Eagles. Now, they have a bye week, a great timed bye week here. Not that they had anything to do with it, but they got at the Eagles. They host the Vikings, at the Rams, at the Panthers, Cardinals, Niners. Whew. And then I'm looking at the Niners. They got Cardinals and Packers they host. Then they're at the Ravens, at the Saints, host the Falcons, host the Rams, at Seattle to end the season. In other words, the NFC is wide open. It really is when you think about it. You know, the AFC, it feels like it's top-heavy with the Patriots and the Ravens. Or maybe it's the Ravens and the Patriots. But in the NFC, you know, is Green Bay the team? New Orleans just lost at home. Still the class of their division there. You know, the Eagles, it felt like the Eagles needed to make something happen prior to the trade deadline, whether getting defense and maybe getting another offensive weapon. You know, the Cowboys, it feels like, have as much talent as anybody does in the NFC. But are they even going to make the playoffs? The Rams, I'm not sold on the Rams. Not right now, because Jared Goff has not played well. And it's not just a couple of games. He has not played well. And then you have the Todd Gurley situation there. That Rams defense isn't as formidable as it was last year. A little bit of the shine off Sean McVay, boy genius. Are the Vikings there? But then they're also in the same division with the Niners. Like, you're just trying to handicap this. You know, Seattle and San Francisco, you know, somebody will win that division, but they're going to earn it because you're going to have to go through a pretty tough schedule. And how banged up are you going to be once you get to the playoffs? But I get ahead of myself because we're 10 weeks through the NFL regular season, and sometimes it feels like I know less than I did at the beginning of the season, and especially in the NFC. So the game last night, teams like Seattle, San Francisco, Green Bay, and Minnesota look like real contenders, but there's no real front runner there. And the AFC is a lot clearer here. But one thing's for sure, the playoffs are setting up to be dramatic once again. We'll see how close the Seahawks and Niners are at the end of the season as they face one another to end the season. But in other words, the rest of the NFL season should be a whole lot of fun, so buckle up.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV, stream for free on BR Live, or download the Dan Patrick Show app.